Yo, what's up, Twitch, YouTube? To get my setup here, and we can get started here, and I'll explain what I'm doing. I've got dog meat here, if that's some indication. Not really. She's off frame. Name's not actually dog meat. It's Jaina, but she's here. So we'll get started here in a sec. I just want to make sure I have this working, as usual. Bear with me here. Okay. And get it up over on my other screen. I know, it's so much stuff. It's so hard. How did it get this hard? Is it always this hard? Is this what everybody else has to go through? Anyways. So what's up? So here's what we're going to do. I love this game. This is Fallout 76, if you don't know. It was Todd's big dream to get Fallout its own MMO. If you don't remember, it came out in 2018. Was not that big of a hit. Had a lot of problems at launch, not gonna lie. I played it at launch. Still love the game. But, you know, it is what it is. But it's years later, and I've been playing it on and off ever since. And I still love the game. And I think it's only gotten better with time. And I think it's time I show off why I love this game. And I'm actually going to do two things at once. I'm doing a little bit of achievement hunting. So another background. This game used to be on the Bethesda launcher, but then they got rid of that and they moved it to Steam. So not all my achievements carried over. All my characters and stuff carried over. So thankfully, I didn't lose any of that. But I didn't get any of the achievements I would have had retroactively, like from doing the storyline, leveling up. Early game stuff, a lot of that I missed just because I had done it at that point on the character, and achievements weren't on the Bethesda launcher. That only came later with Steam. So, let's check the stream here real quick. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, so they moved it over to Steam, and I didn't get any of the achievements, so I wanted to do something. So I played this game to the point where I have a character that can just do whatever. I've almost essentially beaten the game, collected almost everything you can have gear-wise and stuff. But it's been a while since I've been underpowered, and I kind of want to see what the new player experience is like, because it's been 4 years. I want to go back and get those achievements, and if anybody happens to drop by, we'll teach them some of the games if they have some of the questions, and I'll just kind of talk you through some of what I'm doing and what the builds I'm going for. And if you're a new player and you want to get into this game, I'll try and show you some stuff and show you some things that might make it easier on you, and yeah, hopefully you love this game as much as I do. So let's make a new character. Just to illustrate, just to prove I have a high-level character and I have some idea of what I'm doing. There it is, 363, not cheated, nothing like that. That's just 4 years of playing on and off. There's ways you can grind XP quickly. There's people in this game who are thousands, tens of thousands I've seen. So, I mean, but I mean, really, once you hit around level 100, you're going to be, the amount of power you can get kind of severely drops off. You start getting legendary perks. I'll get into it. Don't worry about it. But let's make a new character. So real quick, there's a couple different modes. I'll explain this since you don't know what I'm looking. If you don't know what I'm looking at, this is the adventure mode. This is your public open play. Your normal play. There's the private adventure. Now you can only have this if you're subscribed to Fallout First. I am. You get a couple other things with that. I'll maybe talk about that in a bit. But we're gonna play an open. It lets you have your own private server. People can join, and there's nobody else. They have some other new stuff they've been trying out. Quantum Worlds. I haven't tried it. It changes monthly, seasonally, something like that. And it has like different modes. But it's completely separate from the private and the adventure mode. So progress is not shared between those. Private and adventure do share progress. You do have the same characters, vice versa. And there's even some cheese you can do with that. And then there's custom worlds, which they keep talking that they're going to this is going to be where mods and stuff and other other limited private servers and just like weird, this is where the people can go nuts with the game, but I don't think they've really done anything with it yet. Maybe they will in the future. The biggest release, lastly, was In the Pit, and if there is enough interest, I will actually sit down and make a proper video and edit and show you kind of the history and where this game went from and where it started and all that. I think that somebody might be interested in that. I want to do it. So, anyways, let's make the new character. And this is my first stream alone. Normally I stream with my friends, but and they can tell me if things sound good. And they're all playing D&D today at another friend's house, so... Maybe next time we'll get some Played Up or something else. We'll do more of the co-op games. Just wait for it to load here. I'm playing this on PC. Not on a solid state, so... I don't know. Normally the load times aren't that bad. 30 seconds, minute. Tops for some areas. If there's a lot of players in one area, it can kind of get long to load, and then you load in and like just stuff takes a while to drop in. I mean, it's honestly not that bad. It usually resolves really quickly. Oh shoot, why did I not make it? I did not make a new character. That was a mistake. Sorry. Thought I clicked new character. Whoops. Alright. So we're going to go character, new character. Sorry, I even tested this before stream, then I promptly forgot what I was doing. But yeah, for those who are uninitiated, first of all, how did you get here? But second of all, this is a post-apocalyptic survival game. If you've ever played Fallout 4, they made it into an MMO, and they've spent the last 4 years polishing it. So let's watch the intro. I don't remember what this is. It's been so long. I think this just talks about the history of the vault. Hopefully I'll have subtitles on. I think I did. Should be on.
War. War never changes.
Damn right, Ronnie P.
In 1776,
I would never call them that in real life if I saw them.
That armed conflict was the only way to preserve our rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Yep, just gotta nuke the commies.
If our founding fathers could only see us now. From Antietam to Amiens, Okinawa to Anchorage, we have fought. And now, the Red Menace is at our doorstep. Democracy itself is under threat of annihilation.
I want to say that's the T-60, but I might look stupid
July 4th,
if I get that wrong.
2076, 300 years after our great nation began, we gathered together to honor the completion of Vault 76. This sprawling underground shelter may have been engineered by Vault-Tec, but it was built by you, the good people of America.
And with all your taxpayer money.
If the bombs do come, if the end does come,
And it will.
our way of life will endure. But not everyone will be saved. Those chosen to enter this vault must be our best and our brightest. For when the fighting is stopped,
And definitely the most
and the fallen
bloodthirsty.
has settled,
That's important.
you must
You're gonna have to
rebuild.
kill a lot of people.
Not just walls, not just buildings, but hearts and minds, and ultimately, America itself. So as we stand here today, we pray that the world will know peace. But if that is not our destiny, if war must come, we stand together knowing that here in Vault 76, our future begins.
It begins 4 years ago, actually. There actually is a bit of a timeline in this game.
Morning, Vault 76.
I will explain,
Overseer.
or I won't. We'll get to it
I hope you all enjoyed
as
the
it comes
party
up.
last night, even those who may have overindulged and overslept.
Oh, Mr. Generico. I'll be honest. I don't want to really spend a lot of thought about this before the stream. I don't want to spend a ton of time here. You can change the face of your character, well, once you get out of the tutorial area, basically at any time. So I'm honestly not going to worry about it.
It may be time to leave, but
Boom.
I'll never
And there's your brand recognition.
Vault 76.
All right. This is your profile picture. Taking pictures is a kind of a part of the game for achievements and stuff, and you can actually get it for loading screens. Maybe we'll see some of mine. I don't know if it carries over from character to character. I guess we'll find out. You can change this later too. Again, I don't really want to spend a ton of time here. I'm not interested in playing Dolly Dress Up just quite yet. I certainly do indulge, but just not right now. Not on stream. It just doesn't seem productive use of my time. Maybe there are people here cheering me on or something like, yeah, do it, make him have a screwed up face. You know, I'd gladly do it. But, you know, I'm just not feeling weird screwed up face day, you know?
You have been tasked with nothing less than the
You ever play Ark? That's a good one for making abominations.
such a huge responsibility.
All right, so,
Know that Vault Tech is proud of you.
So I'm going to just explain a bit here what's going on. For those who didn't catch all that in the intro, basically this company called Vault Tech, before the war started, made all these vaults.
Out there in
Basically, it sounds like what it is. It just stops. People were meant to go into it and hide from nuclear fallout and the war, but a lot of them ended up just being horrible science experiments. This actually was one of the better ones. This one does exactly what it was designed to do. After 300 years after the bombs fell, I don't know. No, that's the centennial. 30 years. I don't remember what the timeline is. It's actually not that long. I think it may be 30 years. Jeez, I'm screwing this up already. Sorry. I truly do love this game, but the timeline for Fallout is very long and complicated. And anyways, it's sometime after the bombs have fallen. The radiation is gone. Appalachia takes place in West Virginia, in America. And what happened is everybody, so the 30 years had passed. Everybody, Reclamation Day came, and they were like, all right, everybody, time to leave the vault, time to go make the world great again, and you know, repopulate and do all that. And so they went out and did that, and your character is like a late bloomer. Like, this happened a few months ago in the way that the storyline plays out. So everybody else is already left, and you are the last person to leave. Now, you and everybody else who plays this game is the last person to leave. So, sorry, I'm trying to concentrate and talk about lore and focus on what I'm doing. It's difficult. I'm not used to doing this. So, yeah, you're the last to leave. These robots are basically like, here's what you do. Go outside, try not to die, take some medicine, here's some stuff. This is the camp. This is one of the reasons I love this game. Well, building camps. I will show off my camp maybe later. Maybe in a video. I don't know. That's not what we're doing right now. But you can build your own camp. If you've played Fallout 4, again, it's like settlement building and that. It's very similar to that, snapping and all that. We can show some of that off later. The game makes you do some in the beginning, so you'll see some of that. But you can build a base in this game. You can have your own shop and sell stuff, and you can build death traps, make it a death trap. Although most people just make it really nice and cool and like a showcase of all the cool things you've collected. That's what I've done. Yeah. So now we're going out into the wilderness to, you know, find the overseer. So the overseer was the person who ran our vault, and she left a message like, "Come find me. I left some instructions for you." And you basically follow her trail, and that's the main storyline. See, there you go. First achievement. Woo! Told you I didn't retroactively get them, so now I'm starting to get them. So this is something I wanted to do anyways, so I figured I might as well record it, might as well teach some people. All right.
Oh, sir, those young ladies, they haven't yet made any... Until quite...
Okay.
Got to be a way in there.
Sorry. If you want to see the plot and you want to learn more and sit down and talk to these people, get the game and play it yourself. I highly recommend it.
Whoa! You came out. I thought it was.
But as for me, I've done it, and
So this guy.
I'm just trying to get through to show some of the game here.
He said, "Our last chance." You know. Well, yeah. But.
And for those who don't know, when this game first released, there was actually no NPCs in the game. So this was all added later. So it just goes to show you they keep adding more stuff to the game. And they recently added the pit, which is the Pittsburgh. If you've ever played Fallout 3, had a DLC for it called the Pit. It takes place there. There's some like dungeon-esque raid kind of thing you do. Again, we'll get there when we get there. That's kind of late game stuff. So this character would be a while before I get there.
They sent you out.
Oh yeah, give me a weapon. Alright,
What?
cool, bye. Yeah, alright. So this character I'm actually planning on going melee build. If you... before we get into the long discussion of builds, just be aware that most everything in this game will work. Obviously, not all guns and builds are equal, like any MMO. Big guns and commando builds tend to be the top. But lately, they added the auto axe with the Pit DLC. That makes melee ridiculously good. The auto axe is insanely good. And this is the player's base. So this is what I was talking about earlier about making a base. This person's a little... disorganized. Sorry if you ever see this, but yeah, and it's right outside the main vault, so all the new players are going to see that. Yeah, he's right there. Level 621. Yeah, so, you know, that's the thing. A lot of people play this game. Some build huge, elaborate bases, and they can be level 600 and have huge bases, and you're like, oh yeah, I'd expect that. And then you see people are like level 10,000 and they just have all their crap piled up, and it's just like, oh, you just slapped everything down real quickly, just got the basics out for crafting, and you're just like, yeah, I'm not going to pretty this up. Which, again, that's like half the fun of playing this game in particular is the base building for me. Because there's just like a million things you have to collect. Damn it. I wanted to kill that. Damn it.
I need a drink after this.
I needed that XP. And your gear. I'll take your clothes. Ah, man. So, yeah, we're going to head on down here to the Wayward. And, yeah, so what else? This is, as I said, an MMO, and it's actually still fairly active. Again, I might make a video illustrating this, but if you check the Steam charts, it's usually around the top 50, I think. Like several thousand players averaging, peak. Could be 8,000 on the weekend, something like that. These maps hold, I believe 24 players each. So it's instance off into blocks of 24. 24 people can join a server, and then, if there's more players online, they get put in 24 servers. So server hopping is a thing. So if you're trying to look for people's shops, that's a thing you can do. You can just like leave the server, rejoin, and try and get into a different server. I don't know if there's any other games out there that are kind of like that. Maybe GTA. get the idea. Where was I going? So, I mean, if you've made it this far, I assume you've played video games before, so I'm not going to explain every little thing, but I'll explain what's on the bottom here. You got your HP. That's how much health you have down there in the bottom left. You have your compass down there that has all the cardinal directions, and all those little icons are like nearby locations. And then, of course, markers are quest markers. They point them on a map, go where they point to. And then on your right, you have something called action points. In every other game, it's called stamina, but it's you use it for sprinting, and you have something in this game called VATS. If you've played the other Fallout games, it's a bit different because it's an MMO. Normally in VATS, in the single-player games, time would slow down, and like you could like get headshots and stuff. But MMO, how do you slow time down when everybody else is playing the same game? You don't. So it's more like aim assist. If I get out a gun here. I don't have to shoot anybody. Hang on. I need action points. So yes, using it uses your action points as well. And there's whole builds that revolve around it. Can I not target these? Okay, they're neutral NPCs. I can't target them in VATS. Some NPCs you can. Yeah. There's instanced quest zones. Again, I'm using a lot of terms here that some people may not be familiar with, but it just means it's like a little private room for yourself.
Lady, I will paint the wall.
Honey, you picked.
What are you? Hey!
And in conversations, had I leveled this character up at all, I might have some of these stats, but I don't. So and there's VATS. As I said, it's auto aim, and you can get a version of it that allows you to aim at their body parts.
Drink and play nice.
It's a perk.
I've got a gun pointed at me more than enough for one day. Well, no. First round's on me. Name's Duchess. Your guess is as good as mine. He busted in here saying I needed to turn over the location. Since then, now that you...
Yeah, the world's ended. Everybody's talking about, oh, there's buried treasure out here. Let's go find it.
But I'm willing to pay good. So,
Turns out it's endgame currency, but we'll get there.
that's... Now, how... Oh, darling. As fun as
I didn't know that you could have negative conversation
Yeah.
options.
I was thinking we could take a different... Just give me 1 second.
I'm just so pathetic. They're just like, oh, I'm so sorry. That's funny.
Okay, I think I just want you to know, architecture ain't exactly my forte. Huh, not half bad. So what I've chicken scratched together here for you is the schematic for one custom-made Crane treasure hunting Inc. If I didn't butcher the plan, you just need to build it. Use the... They did teach you all how to build from schematics.
They didn't, but I will.
That's the spirit.
Hey, if you need a refresh.
What are you on about?
Hey, not.
Oh, Mort. Well, of course you're gonna need... Throw some rack. And so you know. Now. Hot dog. Just make oh, it's...
Did some of this when I came back to the game, because the quest was still active even though I'd basically beaten the game before they added all this stuff. So if you are coming back to the game, you can still do this, and if you haven't done it. And it introduces you into all the endgame currencies, basically There's stamps, there's gold bullion, there's... Well, and then there's just having money to buy different plans and recipes, because that is one of the things you'll be doing this entire game, is you will never be done collecting recipes and plans. And my, how many hundreds if not thousands of hours playing this game, I still don't have them all. I see. Wait, can I make an auto axe straight off the whack? I have to be level 20. Ah, okay. I was gonna say that'd be pretty OP at first level. And then craft some armor. I think I was supposed to go listen to something. I don't read so good sometimes. What? Nope. Okay. Oh, let's me read the schematic. Yeah, so when you get a schematic, these are what they look like. If it says it, if you know it already, it'll say known. But obviously, new character, so I don't have them. To build the crane hunting sign, that's for that quest chain. And listen to... Where's this one? No. Oh, wait. No. Come on. No. Turn all this off. Oh, it might be in my... Yep. It is. Yeah, so if you get notes, or hollow tapes in this game as they're called, they're in here.
No people so far. We have to be ready to rebuild in what I can confirm is hostile territory. Fortunately, Vault-Tec was prepared. This, the cooking station, the stash box, the workbenches, all built with the camp. You need a home base out there. The construction and assembly mobile platform is designed to give you one. Just add resources, planning, and a little elbow grease. When you move your camp, everything you've built is stored, ready to be placed back down in the new area. Use this to establish a foothold.
Yeah, see? I don't even need to tutorialize you. This game will do some of it for you. Or do my job for me.
I've left my camp behind so you can use it. I know I'm breaking my own advice by not taking it with me. But after seeing Appalachia for myself, I need to make sure every resident of 76 is safe to start from. I'll do that.
Man, almost forgot what it was like to have a challenge in this game again. Yeah, you can get to the point in this game where things get pretty trivial. And then if you really want to make it super duper trivial, you can go and get a legacy weapon, which I'm not even going to get into right now, but frankly, they're just unnecessary. You don't need them. You can get plenty of guns in this game that are not busted and still feel pretty overpowered. Yeah, so another big component of this game is collecting junk. That's how you get your crafting components for everything. Everything from glue to... Well, you refine everything down, but the raw resources. Yeah, things like glue, steel, wood, uranium. I think nuclear waste is what they call it in this game, but yeah. Things of that nature. Your crafting games, essentials. Alright, so bit of background now, more plot. You basically come out of the vault and you don't know where anybody is. You're like, where is everybody? Or at least that's how initially it was. This places were initially all abandoned, and you find out later that, without spoiling too much, that there was an incident that swept Appalachia.
Hi there.
Hi. So you seem to be appear to be stuck on that
Are
counter.
you here for the responder training?
Nope.
Well, it was good to meet you.
I'm sure that was just tutorial stuff. And again, that's what I'm here for. I'm going to help you. So I'm your friend.
Overseer's log, town of Flatwood.
Yeah, just take everything. So ordinarily, your camp. Let's talk about that for a hot minute.
Shelter, but
Carry weight is limited in this game, even at your camp. Your persons can only carry so much, and you can only store so much stuff at it. Junk has weight, so
well, it used to be a person.
it's not always advantageous to pick up everything like you might have in previous Fallout games. You might need to start getting picky, especially when your stash weight starts getting full. But if you have Fallout First, you can use the scrap box, which holds an infinite amount of junk, which a lot of people get salty about because they say it should be in the game, and while I don't necessarily disagree, I understand why they do it.
Looks like they were made of firefighters, police.
And if you like the game and you play it enough, I do think it is worth it. That in addition to getting the scrap box, you get the private server, which you can use and
I'm doing their tests,
not.
and you should too.
Well, yeah, the private server, and every month you get additional atoms, which is their in-game currency for their in-game shop to buy cosmetic stuff.
And how to secure them. The
There's,
responders
yeah,
are the best lead we have.
I only qualified that because I had to think for a moment. Yeah, I don't think there's ever... You can get some camp items more quickly in there than you could if you found them in plans, but it's not anything exceptionally rare. So
Make yourself at home.
make of that information of what you will. Nobody's going to be complaining that you went to the atomic store and got a red-colored large water purifier. Oh, you cheated and got the large water purifier quickly. And whatever. Those things are everywhere. I'll find one. I'm here, sure, in the next few levels. But that's my point. It's mostly cosmetic. Alright, so I need Kesha McDermott. Alright, let's look her up in the system. I don't remember what this quest is. Cool. So yeah, we're just somebody who survived. I presume was born before the Great War, before all the nukes fell and blew everything up, and we survived, and we're coming out here to rebuild it, and we're trying to figure out what happened to everybody. She died. So that's one mystery solved. Yeah, oh, so this popped up. There are public events in this game. Familiar with Destiny and Guild Wars? I don't know. A lot of other MMOs do them. They pop up when you get close to them. Or players do, at times. You can do it for XP. Some give... Some items in the game you can only get by doing specific events. So... that is... This one particularly good? No. It's just... Didn't mean to aggro any of this. It's one of the lower level area quests. I mean, you can do it for XP, but this isn't one of the ones that's going to give you some of the rare mats or material. What am I doing? If you see this thing I keep opening, it's the favorite menu. It's where you can, if you're on PC, it's where you can use your scroll wheel to quickly access your inventory, and you can set it to be food or guns or drugs, whatever you need. Somebody here doing this event? They must be, because that progress just is going. Oh, so I don't know if I want to do it here on stream, just because. But you can join. You know what? It's fine, actually. That's fine. You can join public teams in this game, and the advantage of that is each group that is formed has different abilities, or like by being in a group you get different buffs, essentially. And the one most everyone uses is the casual one, because it gives you an intelligence boost, which improves the amount of XP you get. And XP is also how you make progress through a season. This game also has seasons. Sorry, it's dispensing a lot of information at once. I'm sorry. But we'll get you through it. Oh, somebody must have completed the event. Yes, they did. Okay. That's why they must have completed it as I was going through the doorway. That's why I got confused. It's like, what happened?
Overseers, let's call these personal journals. Not an official log, just something for me. The Agricultural Center, one of my first posts with Vault-Tec. I was so excited because I used to come to this same farm when I was a kid.
How's the stream looking? You still sound good? Still sound good? I think so.
I remember one year at the Autumn Festival, me running through the corn maze.
All
Going
right.
every which way, Mom and Dad yelling after me to slow down.
Yes, the Overseer. This is her talking about her life and her family.
Couldn't just be a Pioneer Scout. I had to make a group leader.
And up until they added NPCs to the game, she wasn't in the game, but they did add her eventually.
God, I miss those early days. Being a kid. Three of us, our simple life. Our simple house. No wonder it still stands.
Sneak attack. Nice. Wow. That is interesting. I've never seen one die this way, and I've killed a lot of ghouls. Huh. Fascinating. Oop, another one. Here, should we listen to that holotape? I don't think I've heard this one.
My back hurts. Sick of eating varmints with two pair
One
of
moment.
eyes.
Have to adjust.
Yeah, I tell them I see the big old boomer out
There you
here.
go.
They tell me,
Much better.
what's a boomer then? Then some sweet young thing come up to me asking for help with that garden next door. And then
Now we
just
collect
morning,
this water.
I hear talk of
But
crawdads
didn't know that could happen.
barn door across the mountains and worse.
Didn't know that had collision. That's fun.
Now everything cattywampus or it'll kill you.
I don't know why they felt the need to put that to have collision, but good on them.
But damn if God had just let a bomb fall on my head.
Alright.
Jesus, just let me die.
So here is your perk screen. You got a couple different things on here. This is, as the name suggests, where you say all your perks and abilities. You have different ability scores. So each perk has a cost, and you can only buy as many perks as you have the points for. You start off with 1 in everything, and you can increase. You get a total of 50 ability points in just the base game, which I'll explain here in a minute, to add to your character. Eventually, when you get higher levels, you can get legendary perks, which allow you to get more than the 50. But that is a while yet. Now, I am going to be playing a melee build, so I'm going to be mostly needing strength, agility, and then bit of luck, bit of endurance, whatever I can get. There's good perks in every trait for every build. There's usually you can find something good in every build. Charisma is kind of a dump stat too, so there's that. But let's go with nope, not that one. Oh, that's right. You can't get specific perks until your specific level. You can change your ability points as you go, and perks. It's by inspirational. Yes, you can change your ability points. So if you finally, you put a bunch of points in strength, and you're like, oh, I hate being melee, and I want to go commando build, so you go agility and perception instead. You can do that. It doesn't cost you anything to change the ability points around. And perk cards can be unequipped and re-equipped at will. As long as you have the card for it, you can unequip and re-equip it. So you can change your spec on the fly. You can't change ability points on the fly. Those have to be done at a station, which you can craft or find at every trading outpost. Alright, what am I at here? Let's take inspirational again. I want that XP boost early on. Get through the levels quickly. And I have inspirational in every build I use, essentially, because it's also used for the season score to get your the season rewards faster. Is based on XP, so more XP, more season rewards. Make sense? And I'm trying to take perks that I'm actually going to use. There are a couple perks you're going to take for just crafting. You're never going to actually have them equipped when you're out and about doing stuff, but you will need them for crafting stuff. But like I said, you can unequip and re-equip perks at will, so you're going to get them. It's just a question of when. I'll tell you what, let's go with Green Thumb. It's generically useful on, and I just like having it. Allows you to get more crops. Yeah, I'll take a point out of there. Endurance. Sure, iron stomach. Why not? Okay. Nice. Like I said, we'll be changing some of that around. So don't worry about too much early on. If you screw up or you change your mind, you want to do something else, you can do it. It's fine. In fact, when you get to higher levels, you'll end up burning your perk parts. You can convert them into a thing called perk points, which you use to buy legendary traits. So even if you accidentally take a perk and you're like, I'm never going to use that, you can get rid of it later and just turn it into points. So it's fine. Don't panic. We're just doing some science. They want to see what the Earth is like after it got nuked up. And this is tutorializing you as well. I think all games have a tutorial. So one of the great things I love about this game is, unlike most other MMOs that require your full-on attention for hours every week and you have to do this and that, this game really doesn't do that as much. Sure, there's some grind, I will freely admit, but what MMO doesn't. But there's good grind and then there's bad grind, and this game is good grind, I think. It's actually pretty easy to do stuff. You only really need to play the game like... I mean, if you played it for an hour every day, you could realistically get all the challenges done and complete the season by only playing it an hour every day for like, I don't know, a month or so. So, not time consuming when you compare it to other options out there. And there's so much out there demanding your attention. So, if you're here and you want to learn more, I applaud you. And like I said, I will do my best to show off this game and what it has to offer when I'm not running around getting completely lost at what I was doing. Oh, I have to look up Dilbert Winters. Alright. Alright, so
Chloe's my pet.
early on here, we're kind of just stuck with whatever weapons we get. Eventually, we'll get fun stuff. We'll get auto axes. We'll get the super sledges. We'll get the plasma casters. But like I said, you honestly play what you like. Everything works in this game as far as the spec goes. But if you really want to be a power gamer, get big guns and use like anything that is a two-handed big gun. I don't know how else to explain that. Flamers, miniguns, gauze miniguns. That kind of thing.
Take us all up anyways. When this all happened, I figured like most it was time. This was the end. But it wasn't, was it? We're still here.
Training instructions. Oh, probably the thing that says training?
I thought it was a mistake. That we
Yeah,
were missed.
maybe that one.
Maybe we did some wrong. Didn't give enough to charity, maybe. Didn't praise his name even in the worst of times. Maybe
And you can always, like I said, make your build fit to what you're doing and whatever activity you're doing. So right there, if I was wanting to get more meat for ribeye steak, I could get the Butcher's Bounty perk if I had it, and you could equip that, get whatever meat you want, and then make it for whatever crafting you want, and then unequip it and move on. One of my things I do that particular one with is getting ant meat, because eventually you can make red ant lager, which is increases your carry weight. It's like a drug, and it's good. There's literally an item in the shop, in the atomic shop, called carry weight booster that does the same thing that you have to pay actual money for. So there's an in-game equivalent for it that you can make.
And I was thankful for my task in life.
But that is actually getting the recipe for Red Ant Locker is locked behind a quest chain, and you kind of have to pray to RNGesus that Bev, the robot who gives the quest, gives it to you as a reward for the daily. But that's actually one of the more fun quest chains to do every day, because you get to make beer and alcohol and do wacky stuff. It's a good quest chain, and daily. Complete training. Alright. I think this is basically, this quest is the same from when the game came out. But these NPCs and robots and other things weren't around. Oh. Right, other people play this game. I was getting shot at. Oh, okay, there we go. There we go. Third achievement. Again, this is why I wanted to go back and make a new character. Just get all these achievements I didn't get credit for. Alright, where to next? We're just gonna blast through the main storyline for a while until I get some, until I remember where some interesting side quests are. There's Mistress of Mysteries, which is a good one. I mean, doing the one to unlock the gold bullion and all the Secret Service stuff, that's part of the main storyline. That's pretty good too. Alright. And at some point I will have to sit down and make a camp and just, probably if nothing else, just to dump the crap I'm carrying. Because the only way you can get access to your scrap box is at your camp or someone else's. They're not in the game, just laying around. Oh wait, no, yes they are. I take that back. Why did I say that? There's some in White Spring, in the White Spring Refuge, in both the crafting area and the upstairs near the donation person. So there you go. But again, you can only use it if you have Fallout first. So yeah, you can. I wonder how far you could actually get in this game without making a camp. Cat. Why is there just a dead cat there? No idea. Just out in the middle of friggin' nowhere. Where am I going? Morgantown. See, this is what happens when you play the game for so many years. You just forget that you could fast travel everywhere, and you just are in areas that you're just like, I don't recognize any of this. Oh man, I'm glad I'm going back and doing this. You always see new stuff. And hopefully they keep making stuff for it. Like I said, they did have a major update just fairly recently, so it does still seem to be active, and it does have a fairly active player base, so it's good. As you can see, there's people. See, there's the person's base. See, he's got all his stuff splayed out. See,
Can't shake these nightmares.
people will try and make their areas real nice, and people try and come in and buy some of their stuff, use some of their terminals. That's what I do. I hear the I'm in combat music. Yeah, I don't know if they spawn out here, but there are things in this game that would be able to one-shot me pretty easily at this level. But I don't think they spawn in this area, so I think we're fine. Yeah, I was just waiting for a Scorch Beast to roll out and just blow me up, one-shot me. That's what I get. So, like I said, if you got any questions, feel free to throw them in the chat. I will do my best to answer them. Just showing off this game to anybody who's new. Anybody who might be interested in this game that's been out for a couple of years now. But it's still great. Still making new content. Still active community. And you can easily sink several hundred hours into this game and not see everything. So, pro tip. Big things to collect. Gears, springs, screws. Here, tell you what, I'll show you this now. Another real cheeky trick. So if you go into your junk inventory area and, if you're on PC, it's component view, you can actually switch to particular items you want. So if I say I want tag screws, we're going to tag, what else do I have? Let's go with adhesive. It's a bit fiddly. There we go. Gears. What else did I say? Springs. And I can show you some of the items that most people don't know about. And if you're ever short on, people often overlook when they scavenge. Like springs, for example, clipboards. Great place to find springs. And you can find clipboards everywhere. And once you get in the habit of what you're looking for, see, there's one. Tinker's Workbench, nice. And the nice thing too is, with people's shops, you can buy literally any recipe in the game if somebody's selling it. So everything from basic crafting benches all the way up to, stupid Doom rifle. Well, not everything. I take that back. Most everything. The only thing you cannot sell are items that are bought with the rare in-game currencies like gold or stamps. Those are untradeable because they want you to farm that. Because that's where the MMO comes in. Hit me with that MMO feeling. Alright, what was I doing? Overseer Journal 2. Let's do that one. In items. Really, you'd think it'd be like data with the quest stuff, but...
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. I'm home.
Alright, yeah, because that leads to Morgantown High School, which is in the next area we're headed to. And I have some more level ups. Oh, and I now have PvP enabled, or possible. So, PvP is in the game. You can turn on pacifist mode so you don't accidentally shoot people and get flagged for PvP. And if you're in a workshop, which is a designated specific areas on the map, you are auto-flagged for PvP. So just be aware if you ever want a workshop that somebody with an explosive plasma Gatling might show up and one-shot you when you're in a menu. It's happened to me. All right.
Have children.
Any perks I actually want to have? Action Boy. Boom. That's a good one.
Well, since I'm doing this whole trip down memory lane, maybe a walk over to the old high school is in order.
That will give me faster action points regen. Which, again, is good in every build. Almost. Have a quick sip here. Mouth's getting dry. Some juice. Alright, we're heading up to Morgantown. These are roughly based, these are based on real towns in real life. I don't think the locations or scaling is accurate at all. Now. Please, sir. Sir. Oh, and another quick thing. There is quick looting in this game. Hit R, nearby corpses, mash R, auto loot all. Boom. But you do have to be careful because if you're in somewhere dangerous, like, I don't know, fighting giant monsters in a collapsing mine, you might want to watch a carry weight because you might get bogged down and get killed by said monsters. So, just be careful. Oh, I wish my Action Boy perk. See, this is why I want rank 3 of that. So I don't have to stop every 5 feet and slowly ponder. Eventually I'll get all the fast travel points, and fast traveling in this game costs money, which is caps. And that's what it's called. And there is a limit to how many caps you can hold, which is 40,000. So that kind of forces the economy to a certain scale. that makes sense. Like if everything is capped at 40,000, nothing can be more expensive than that, and people typically try not to hold that much money once because, for example, if you were at max money and somebody goes to your shop and buys something, you don't get any of that money. It just disappears into the void. So you try and keep yourself, if you run a shop, at a certain level under cap, so you don't accidentally lose out on any money you could have had. And there's ways you can dump money. You can buy, like I said in rare currency, gold bullion. You can buy 300 of it a week for 6,000 caps. At the guy at the Wayward, Smiley? Yeah, I think his name's Smiley. The dude wearing the, he's wearing a American flag suit. He lives upstairs in the Wayward. You can talk to him once a week and trade 6,000 caps for 300 gold bullion. So that's a good way to dump money. I try and do that every week because you will need a lot of gold bullion if you plan on buying everything in the game. I'm sure somebody out there has done the math, but again, let me put it this way, after hundreds of hours, still don't have everything. So there you go. But I would say most of the things, you're not going to want everything that they're selling. You're going to want a handful of things that they're selling, you know, specific guns or mods for said guns that for a build you're trying to do. So don't worry about needing to buy everything. You just don't have to. Tomahawk. I don't even know what perk this scales off of. There is no throwing weapon perk, I don't think. Anyways, whatever. I'm just gonna try it. We're trying new things. We're different experiments. Oh, can't use in VATS. Oh, I think I have to. Ow. Get shot a bunch. Okay, this is not working. Jeez. I need a better weapon. And I'm trying to avoid giving myself anything from my other character. I feel like that kind of defiles the spirit of what I'm trying to do here. This is supposed to be a new player's guide, so with the expectation you're not going to have anybody just dumping stuff on you. But somebody very well may roll up. I've ever had people come up to me and just be like, here's a bunch of free stuff. It happens. People need to get rid of stuff and clear up stuff from in their inventory. I don't think they're necessarily scams. Don't do direct trades. Either buy stuff from people's stores or just have them dump it on the ground and you take it. That's how I do. I guess builds at this level are kind of irrelevant because I don't really have any perks. But the game does scale, so it shouldn't be awful. Even at this level, it should just, like I said, grab whatever works. Go nuts. Although, of course, you're in a place like this, going melee would be annoying. I mean, when you get later in the game, you get stuff like mutations, like the marsupial mutation. You can just leap up here or have a jetpack. So, all options available to you. Recipes, good. Gonna need those. This is why I recommend setting presets. So you can do just that, and I'll have to look at it. Again, scarcity is the name of the game. And how hard and what you want to do is kind of up to you. If you feel like farming all day and getting 1,000 things of Psycho or whatever, you can do that and run full Psycho builds. But it is a bit grindy. Ooh, power armor. All right. Tell you what, take my first suit. So if you ever want to claim power armor, even if they're, we're just going to take the frame here. We can slap some armor on it. Just walk into the frame and it's yours. Don't worry, people can't steal your frames. So once you claim it, it's yours. Other people can't use it. So that's mine now. Not that it's terribly useful to me at the moment. It has no core, no armor. But we'll get stuff later. Man, we're just finding plants all over the place. I didn't know there were this many out here. Oh, my inventory's full. Alright, so now is the time we consider making a quick camp. Alright. Where's the Morgantown train station? Let's put it up there. That's a good starting area. It's right near the vendor. There is the Morgantown Airport right nearby, which has a bunch of food if you want food. There's a farm over there. I'll show you that once we get over there. And then another super late game pro tip. This area, Morgantown Train Yard, has dirty soot flowers, which is used to make Psycho. So this is one of the best spots in the game to farm it. I need to make carry weight. What can I get rid of? Tell you what, I'm actually going to get rid of that power armor chassis at the moment. I just simply don't need it. I'll find another one. Also, I think it'll, wait a minute. I have to, hang on, it's just going to come back to me if I, whatever, when it does it, I'll just scrap it. But, one thing at a time. Get over this fast travel because there's a merchant here. Yeah, merchants always at train stations. There's a couple other vendors too around, like White Springs.
Ammunition and other supplies available here.
Just gonna make some inventory space here. I don't favor using pipe weapons.
Available.
Shotguns. Keep one of them. Sell those because I don't understand how they work, but that's okay. You don't need them. I don't think any perks work off them anyways.
Free supply here, citizen.
Alright. Alright, we're good on it. We don't need to camp right this moment. We're good. Alright, let's get these. Spawners. There's some pretty good shotgun builds you can do out there. Gauze shotgun is what you're looking for if you're playing endgame. That is the bee's knees. Crap, I think I need lock picking. Not important. We'll do a lot of the miscellaneous stuff later. That's just like, here's a little of this, little of that. Nothing spectacular. Okay. All right, to the airport. Ugh. Alright. We have... usually this is a high traffic area. Sometimes you can come here and just everything's dead. And I'll be honest, I don't know what the respawn rate is in this game. A while. games. I'm not used to being on one server for a while and coming back and having crap respawn. But it's also instanced and, you know, it's a Bethesda game, so who knows? Excuse me, sir, sir, sir. I'm gonna heal myself with mac and cheese. Rub it right in my stab wounds. Where the hell am I going? Where's anything? I swear, am I just running in circles? I am on. Oh. Down. Shotgun shells, more shotgun shells. Ooh. The shotgun's doing a number. Nice. Death fans, good for screws. You can usually find a lot of those everywhere. Broke my arm. So I'll break your face. Yeah, another nice thing is when people create groups to do stuff, like that guy's doing a public event, it gives a notice to the server so you can go and join them. If we were so inclined. We're not going to, but if you want to, when you play this game. Man, I don't remember any of this stuff. Did I ever do this? Couldn't tell you. Feels new. That's good enough for me. Using guns I haven't used in ages. Honestly feel like this was like the vision of the game was the lower level stuff, and then it turns into MMO town at higher level. This feels like the more pure post-apocalyptic experience, just like with whatever crap you find off the ground, just trying not to die desperately. I'm sure there's games out there like that. Probably played some. I just can't think of any off the top of my head. Oh my god. He's a master of evasion. What? ID card. Where's the ID card? What? Can I miss it? Oh, why? Where is it? I'm assuming I'm gonna go to the marker. I just missed it somewhere. Down there. Ooh, that was a close one. Really close. Nah, never mind. I'm lying. I had it the whole time. Now I have that healing salve. Yeah. Oh. Take the note the lady is holding. And now we go back up. Okay. Sorry. Back issues. I can't get his proper sit. Investigate. Wait, what was that? Back out in the lobby? Oh my goodness. See, this is what happens when you do the same quest areas every day and you never come back to these places. Not actually. Scrap more junk. Okay. That should help me with my carry weight. Yes, that helped immensely. Oh, I remember. Okay, got it. Yeah, I had to go back to those doors. Yeah, I've got the key card. You open up the doors, go up there. Is there anything over here? Are there? No, I think hats mostly in this game are cosmetic. You can get gas masks that prevent airborne illnesses, which is a thing you can encounter. I go all the way back to the freaking area. Oh, am I dumb? Now where do I go? I literally just went in a loop. Oh my god, I lost my mind! Wait. There it is. Jesus. Sorry. Sorry you had to sit through that. Stop. God, get up. Yeah, that's the downside of shotguns. Not great for fighting groups of things. At least not yet. I'm sure somebody with a Gauss shotgun is going to show and be like, what are you talking about? And just lay waste to everything. But, you know, I'm not as cool as people who use Gauss shotguns.
To close these weary eyes.
Overseer's log. Morgantown. I used to love coming here on weekends, taking flight lessons. Now it feels like I walked into a nightmare. Those scorched things are everywhere. I kept quiet. They didn't see me. I managed to observe them for a bit.
Learn about the Inoculation
Whatever this
Bureau.
disease is, it seems to completely take over its host.
Yes, there's an illness that turns people into those red,
Eventually they
these people.
go rigid. Some kind of stasis.
They're like zombies, kinda.
They sort of burn up.
More like the things from 28 Days Later, I would say.
Movies in reverse.
If you're a fan of those movies.
I wondered what could possibly cause all this.
Oh God, I can't wait to get the hell out of here. This place is a maze.
Swooped down from the sky, screeching, breathing, infecting everything. I don't know how to fight this, but we need to consider all our options. Even
God, what am I doing, man?
we find the source of this scorched plague and wipe it from the map before it can leave Appalachia. But first things first, we can't let the disease spread to us.
Oh, this is
Looks like
out the front door.
responders are developing some kind of inoculation.
Show you a shortcut. Just gonna fast travel and go through the front door. Oh, goodness. Stream still working? You still good?
I'm going to pick up their work.
Okay.
You should too.
Just making sure.
This is the overseer.
Want you to miss any of this. Oh, I just had to go outside. Well then, that was even easier. I do. Okay. I will have to shuffle some points around. Yes, every 5th level you get perk packs, so you get free perks. They come with a joke. Why did June become an architect? To remove the glass ceiling. That's what we want. Now we just need to find a sledgehammer or something. And then at level 20, we get the auto axe. And then we will be ripping into tearing. I'm sorry. Yeah, as I said, sometimes you go areas and it triggers public events. Like this one. Yes, another achievement, yes. Yes. Soon I will have all of them. You want a real achievement in this game? Get Cobbly Wobbles. Look it up. If you can get infected with Cobbly Wobbles, I would be genuinely impressed. It's one of the hardest things to do in the game. It's annoying. It's one of the achievements. To get every disease in the game, and that one is a very specific one. It only comes from one place, and you have to pray to RNGesus that it happens. I'll be honest, I don't want to do this public event. Because you kind of have to hold off waves of stuff and doing it by myself. At this level, kind of not great. So tell you what, we're going to go get Morgantown. No, I'm getting confused. And also, I can hear Scorched Beast flying overhead. So that's the thing that I was talking about earlier. That can just instantly annihilate me at this level. And I think this might be the only event that causes one to spawn here, but I don't think it attacks. Not that particular one. But I wasn't going to chance it. is it telling me to go this way now? Oh, hang on. See, it keeps auto-flagging stuff, and it's confusing the crap out of me. Oh, Bureau of Tourism's a main quest? Interesting. Well, we'll go to Grafton at some point. See what? While I'm thinking of it. Set this to this. Just getting it set up the way I like it. Somerset Special. Oh, that's from doing the main quest. I got that gun. Hang on, I should also have a bunch of notes. Yep. Nice. Okay. And you can always buy those from other players too. So, never fear. Always more where those came from. I thought you were dead. Damn, that's pretty good. Yeah, I'm trying to think what mutations would be good with this build. Probably, definitely marsupial. So I do plan on this not being a power armor build. So no power armor in this build. You could do melee power armor, but I'm not going to do that. The point of this build is to make it as noob friendly as possible, as easy as possible, least amount of maintenance as possible. So it doesn't use ammo, doesn't use power fusion cores. It's just you and your auto axe, which you can you unlock the auto axe currently by playing the game and doing the season rewards. It's currently one of the season rewards. Eventually they're going to add it as one of the currencies you buy for stamps. So yeah, if you want to save yourself an ass load of grinding later in the future, get on while the pit season is still playing. And a lot of the stuff that you can get as season rewards now will only be available as stuff you have to buy with the currency later. So you can save yourself some time. That's what I'm doing, or have done. I do the dailies every day. I didn't stream myself doing it today because I didn't think it'd be too terribly fascinating, but maybe I can tutorialize people on that too if there's enough interest, or I get this character far enough to do it. But hey, we're still in experimental mode here, so we're still trying out. We're still seeing what works. We're seeing what people like, and I'm just doing what I like. And if people like what they see, they can hit the follow. They can put a comment. And they can just tell me what they want. I'm easy. You want to see a different game entirely? We can do that too. Within reason. There's some games that I just have no interest in playing. Despite my love of shooters, stuff like Overwatch, for example. Couldn't care. Not arena shooters are not my thing. I'm too old and slow for them anymore. So, I like my dad games. This is kind of dad game-esque. At least for the time demand and skill curve. Oh, we're done here. So now we have to go. Listen to the journal.
Overseer's personal journal. I was in my junior year when I got the news that Mom died. Mining accident. Everyone in West Virginia has a story like
Tech
that.
University, got it. Oh, and listen to Camping 101.
Never think it's gonna
Do that while I'm in there.
Responder Survivors Volunteer Program. Advanced Training. Camping by Miguel Caldera. Robot Programmer Extraordinaire. Part 1. Finding the perfect camping location.
Yeah, well, I find the exit for a building you're in when you can just fast travel to the same building and get outside. Yeah, fast traveling doesn't cost anything if you're at the place you're already at. The fast travel cost is based on distance from where you are to where you're going. And there's a couple other tricks too. There's a couple places around the map that are free to fast travel to. So if you're really cheap, you can fast travel to those locations that might be closer to where you're trying to get and save yourself a few caps. But I think most people will find once they reach a certain point, money becomes not as big a deal. It takes a while to get there. I mean, there's a ton of recipes to dump. It took me a while to get there. But eventually you get to the point where money ain't so big of a deal.
It's all about your defenses. You can build near people you trust who will watch your back, or build things that will watch your back for you. No problem. Anyone can do it. Remember, camps are mobile. We're all explorers now. Camping in a strange land full of adventure, wonder, and danger.
Camps are mobile, but you have to pay to move them. Who gets the money?
Before the war, I was gonna retire and go camping. Now I can do it every day.
Couldn't tell you.
Forever. It's a dream come true. What you love, right? Now come to my camp, and I can show you some naughty.
Oh my god, I'm so bad.
I'll direct you on a spot. Good luck, volunteer.
That's why I have to use VATS. So I ain't so good at the aiming. Oh, frat party. So yeah, that drinking side quest I was talking about earlier. That's where that starts. Again, I want to do the main storyline. But you can unlock a lot of the alcohol recipes by doing that quest chain. That's the only way you can get them. And you can run alcohol builds in this game. And drug builds. So, that's fun. Although, if anybody from Bethesda ever does watch this, please change the Party Girl perk to 2 points instead of 3. There's really no reason that one should cost 3 points. It's really not that worth 3 points, but it is worth it for 2 points. And I would like to use it more often. Anyways, that's just my nitpick about that particular gameplay balance. Alright, I'm gonna finish this and go on a quick break then. Get in here, clear out this building, so 10 minutes here. We'll take a quick 5-minute and then we'll come back afterwards. So let's do this first. See, VATS is awesome. You can do VATS builds too, and I did that for a very long time. See, look at that. long as you got the action points, you just like aim, fire, dead. See, guys, and this is why you don't need legacy weapons. Friends don't let friends use legacy weapons.
Commencing attack on hostile.
Okay. Just took that. Running out of bullets for that. Oh. Listen to Overseer's Journal 4.
Overseer's personal journal. 4 years of living, learning, and breathing Vault-Tec. Graduating with honors in the Overseer track. Dad was so proud. Came out even though he was already so sick. I must have impressed the right people because I was offered the next available Overseer slot. I had just graduated. It was supposed to take years. Maybe they knew the war was inevitable. When I learned that 76 was going to be with me,
Outside here,
I was
where I
so
won't
excited I
immediately get
jumped right out of my
mobbed.
chair and did a little dance around the
So I can go AFK for a moment here.
Appalachia would be safe, no matter what.
Maybe dog meat wants to go out.
Evan chose that moment to propose. A lughead. He knew I wouldn't say no after hearing the news. He knew me better than anyone.
Just make sure it doesn't crash. Jeez. Come on. Am I being impatient, or is this just a longer than normal loading screen? Am I crazy?
Dad died a
There
few
it
months
goes.
after Evan and I moved in together.
All right, I'm going to let you look at this view of Mama Dolce's food processing plant. There's a public event there, too, but, yeah, I'll be back in 5.
Down there either, so. I think it's time I went home. I owe Evan that much.
Hey, I'm back. Thanks for sticking around if you're still with me. Alright, so what do we got to do? We can go do Dr. Hudson's research. I have another level up point to spend. And also, I need to remind myself, I need to go change some of my points around. See, the initial levels, whenever I buy a specific perk, it puts a point in that level. Again, you can shuffle them around, but it's just the way it does it. It assumes that you want to put a point into that perk, or that special ability, because then you need to use that special ability to buy and use said perk. But you don't have to buy a perk for the same special ability you're buying a point for. So that makes sense. So you can put a point into strength and then go and buy a charisma card on a level up. But in my case, I'm trying to level up my two-handed melee weapons because we're going for the auto axe build. So we're going to keep leveling that up. Because by the time I get to level 20, I want to have as many perks for that as I can. Slugger is a good one because it gives you more two-handed damage, and then stuff like Bloody Mess, which is more damage. And then we'll get stuff like Incisor, and which allows us to do more armor penetration with melee. We'll get there. You'll see. I may post the full build on YouTube for any of those curious afterwards. You can catch me on my YouTube. I just post my streams there. So I might just drop in the description there for anyone who cares. Alright. Let's go do that one. So I think this gives us more camp stuff. And I just want to have the basics: armor bench, weapon bench, tinker's bench, chemistry bench. You know, all your benches. Bench, please. Over here, because if I drop down there, I am not going to be able to get back up easily. Is this door an actual usable door? It is. With people in a horrible nightmare death throes. That's a nice touch. I've never seen that before. See, this is, again, another reason I want to come out here again. I just want to see all the new stuff again. It's just, I've forgotten so much. You ever have that with the game you love so much, you just like wish somebody would just hit you with a hammer and you just forget it and you could just play it again? I mean, not so much getting hit with the hammer part, but you know, you just forget and you just want to relive it. Miguel, are you here?
It's not enough that I am tethered to an invisible point forever, but the nickname so uncouth. None of the other volunteer bots had idiotic names.
So, fun story. These robots can get their legs broken, and they just crawl around. And there's a public event you can do where you have to protect one of these, and you can actually kneecap it so it crawls very slowly, and it like doesn't trigger any of the events for things to get attacked, and you still get credit for completing it. So if you ever want to cheese, oh god, what the hell is that one called? It's in Cranberry Bog. It's the one down here on the beat. No, I don't remember. It's that one, but you can blow off his legs. It's hilarious. Or I should say, let me correct myself. You don't blow off his legs. You let things attack it so his legs get broken. See? Like that. And there's a perk you can get called, and just so you don't fail the event, there's a perk called, it's in the charisma tree. It lets you use your flamethrower to heal things. Friendly fire or something. I think it's called friendly fire. But you can use the flamethrower to heal your robot, your friend that you're protecting, but his legs can still get damaged and he can still be at full health. It's weird. So there you go. Pro strat for an event that nobody ever does, but if you want to solo it easily, that's how you do it. You use your flamethrower to keep him just alive so he doesn't die, but let ads attack him so his legs explode. And then you can protect them. Oh, okay, I gotta go back to the airport. It's like confused. It's like, didn't I do that already? But I guess I did them out of order. So there's your guide. Don't do that. Save yourself some time. That's fine, though. That's what you do in an MMO half the time, right? How many people just in World of Warcraft just running around Orgrimmar or Stormwind? If you've ever played those games, you've done it. I know you have. Don't lie to me. How did he turn on? Oh, I should have illustrated that. Again, if you played Fallout 4, you're familiar with this. When you hit enough things in vats, you have a little bar that fills up, and it allows you to get a guaranteed hit on an enemy at critical damage. So, you know, if you get concentrated fire that allows you to individually target people, then you build up that crit, you know, getting a high crit build, and then you target their head, hit them people with crits, and you can just melt people. Literally, you can melt people. Get a plasma caster, hit them with that, and they'll melt into a pile of goo. Oh, and now I have to actually drop the camp.
Go over to that nearby clearing and set up your camp. Maybe a storage container. You can
I just slap it down, or do I actually try and find a good spot? Do I try and show off one of the better spots I know? Yeah, but somebody's already over there. This is. I have a spot over there that I like to. There's a really good spot over there. What do I call? What do we determine as a good spot? Well, I mean, it really depends on what you're looking for. There are resource deposits in this game that you can put resource extractors on and extract a limited amount of. Well, I say limited because it holds a max amount, and you have to empty it out, and there's no way to automatically empty it out. But you can get stuff like lead or iron or concrete, and your base will basically automatically generate that for you. But they're in specific parts of the map. So if you want lead, you know, you go find a lead deposit and build on that. And there's some spots, like there's one spot in the game that makes lead and acid, which is the two main things to use to make gunpowder and bullets and stuff. So it's the ammo factory camping spot, as it's colloquially known. Again, maybe if there's enough interest, I can make a showcase to some of those spots. But for those interested, the ammo spot that everyone likes is where this dude is. It's around here. I forget. It's somewhere in this area. There's like a cliff, and then there's a cave with the acid in it, and then there's a lead deposit on a ledge above it, and you have to put the camp module in a very specific spot. But you can do it, and I've seen it done multiple times. But I don't necessarily need that stuff. Like I said, you get to the point where you don't need specific things, and I've seen people just build really cool bases and just cool spots that they liked, and it works. Your camp you can always fast travel to for free, so that's a benefit. But here, tell you what, why don't we go ahead and, while we're on the subject, you know what? There is things like this. So let's just say something early on. We can just do junk deposit. I think junk is just a generic thing to have. Whoopsie. So I'm a particular fan of this website. I've actually met the man once who wrote it or designed it, I believe. But yes, Fallout maps. And you can search by this, and you can have stuff like this where it tells you where all the farmable junk piles are. So, handy. Although ones in workshops you cannot claim permanently. Workshops are temporarily only, so be aware of that. So if you have a workshop, don't ever go whole ham on it, ever, because you will not keep anything in there. It will disappear as soon as you log out. So just my advice is, if you take workshop, is make a blueprint of just like the bare essentials of what you need, so that when you're ready to claim the workshop, you just slap the blueprints down and you're in and out of there before anybody can PvP you. So tell you what I'm gonna do. Do I go over to that spot and make my camp? I think I do. But I am going to have to server hop. Okay, we can do that. That's what I want to do. Because I like that spot. And it's in this noob starting area, and I don't have to go up to Savage Divide, which is another spot I like and probably die trying to get there. Because there's one particular spot. Well, I could sneak past. I don't want to go up there. It's also a hike. This is a tad bit closer. Alright, so let's go over there and then we'll server hop. Maybe he'll log off in the time it takes me to walk there. Doubtful, but maybe we can discover some other fast travel points while we go. But yeah, I'm back in a new character. I'm happy with it so far. Is it everything I dreamed it to be? I don't really know what I expected, to be honest. So, like I said, we're just still trying new things. It's a brand new channel. I'm excited. I have so many things I want to try. So, we'll see what works and what doesn't. I'm just happy I get to talk about stuff that I enjoy. Because Lord knows, most of the people I know have no interest in this game. But it's their loss. Actually, we might be able to cheese this. Is this guy on a public group? We could actually join his team and then fast travel to his camp. And that would save me a whole 5 minutes, but he is, see? Boom, watch this. Now we fast travel. I wonder if it's going to pull up on any of my loading screens. I should check my gallery. I should also check my stream to make sure that's still working. Hello, this is phone. Come on. Alright, server hop. Yeah, it's not. That's decent. That's one of the prefab ones from the new season. Pittsburgh Palace, I believe that is the name of that unit. Not bad, but We've here. So I showed off. That's one of mine. That's my little house up on the Savage Divide. When they put out the contemporary houses, I built that because I loved it. And there's the interior. Sorry, I know this is a bit of a side gig. And this was one of the best places I've ever seen. This guy's house was amazing. This guy had his own downtown. I wish I'd gotten a larger frame. He actually had like 3 or 4 smaller buildings and shops. His base was pretty cool too. Oh yeah, this was it. Yeah, he had like a whole downtown. His base was awesome. I really like that one. I try to get some of the better ones. Oh, somebody had a pirate ship. Yeah, that one was cool. Here's one of mine. This is the interior of one of my vaults. Death Star. Alright, I take pictures of some of the better ones in here, but as you can see, I mean, look at these. Some of these people. Look at these people. This is amazing. I mean, I'm no slouch if I don't mind tooting my own horn, but man, these people, man. All right, let's server hop so I can get my camp down here. And this is how you do it. And there you go. I just taught you how to server hop. That is if it doesn't dump me on the same server, which it has done. But usually there's, like I said, with several thousand people, 24 apiece, each server, I don't know, you can do the math, several hundred servers. I think that's how it works. So. Excuse me.
Automated warning to all responders.
Why did it spawn me here?
Evacuate civilians and take down those supervisors.
And there's somebody in that spot too. Gee, see, this is the problem with having popular spots is you might need to take a couple hops before you get it open. Yeah, so if somebody is in your camp spot and you try and spawn in a world, it despawns your camp. Not like deletes it, like it just, the next time you're in a world where it could spawn, it'll spawn it. It just hides it. It like unequips it. You have like camp slots and you can equip bases, like you can equip gear, if that makes sense. I can show you some of that, but if you have multiple, you can have multiple camp slots, and you can swap between which ones you have equipped. So if you join a world and somebody else has your spot, you can just click the button. If you have a second base, it loads up your second base in that spot, and you can just go to that instead. So helps to have 2 bases. And then you can also have multiple fast travel points too. Okay. Now the spot's open. Again, and if you don't like having to do server hops, then don't pick a popular spot. That's my only warning to you, so you're just gonna have to deal with it if you pick a popular spot that people like building bases in. The map is only so big. And yeah, if you find a place that has 4 or 5 resources that you're like, oh man, this is a good spot. I have access to this and this and this. Chances are people know about it already and build bases there. So it's just one of those things that happens. But honestly, it's not that big of a deal, I don't think. So you just hop server, and like you saw, it's just now. Once I claim this spot, if anybody else joins the server and has a base in that spot, mine takes precedence because I was here first. Goodbye? Oh no, that means I'm an asshole. I already do that. It's fine. Yeah, man. You can take a bullet. Good for you. Why did I get a perk? So you normally get perk packs at level every 5 levels. So I don't know why I got one there. Something achievement maybe? But I thought it was account bound. I'm not sure. I can check here in a hot minute. Alright, so where are we? Alright. So here is one of my favorite spots to build a camp. Right up. Sorry. You sneak past that. There. This junk pile here. This is why this is such a popular spot. Because you have junk, you have water, so you can put water purifiers, you have snap tails for sugar, blood leaves for the refuge daily quest, glowing fungus for Rad-X and Radaway. I mean, you got a lot of crap here, so this is a hot spot. And we're going to take it. Alright, so time to show off the other reason you play this game. Or the half the reason you play this game. Your camp. So we need to, this is like any game that you've ever played that has a claim block, it kind of works like that. As long as we get the junk pile in water, we don't really care where this goes too much. You can move the unit once you place it down, but the claim influence area, you have to pay to move the whole camp to get that to move. So I just want the little bit of the water's edge so I can drop water purifiers, but enough that I can get up and build on this hill because I've built here before and I know that's what I need. It's more like right here, so I know. If I don't get it right, I'm going to drive myself crazy. All right. I can't see. It's so hard to see where the claim area is in water, and that's the problem. Do I have all of it, or do I have some of it? It's we're gonna go by that shoreline there. Okay, so think like right. Sure. I think for the first few levels you can move your camp for free. No, you do still have to pay for it. Okay, whatever. In the end, it's not a tremendously big deal because you can always move these, and you can move in your entire pre-built structures with it. So if you build a whole house and you don't like where it is and you want to move the whole house to an entirely different part of the map, you can do that. With limitations, clipping, some limitations and clipping do apply. How much do I get from my other characters? Nothing, essentially. I can get the contemporary home pieces. So yeah, you still get your DLC stuff. DLC, Atomic Shop, whatever you call it. You know what I mean. I hope. I'm making a lot of assumptions about your foreknowledge on Fallout and video games in general. So I apologize. Again, you have questions, let me know. I'll try and answer them. So we're just going to build a basic crap shack for the moment because we don't really have a lot to build with. Just trying to get a basic floor down. Alright. So this is our junk box. Again, only available to Fallout First members. So you need to pay for it, but it's, like I said, if you play this game enough, it's worth it. You don't want to, your stash space is going to become an issue. for you at some point. I guarantee it. So, be prepared now. There's a stash box. Also, another thing is, if you have a friend who plays this game, or you can convince somebody to do it for you, if you join private parties, you can actually have other people build stuff in your base for you. So even stuff you don't have the recipes for, they can build for you in your base, and you can keep. You will have to save them as a blueprint, because if you deconstruct them, they're gone for good, and you have to have that person come back and do it again. But you can save the item, at least for a bit. Dang, I have nothing. I'm so not used to that. It's hard to remember what you get from where. What comes from what. Most of it you can buy at the White Spring. All this camp stuff. There is the mega mall of this area, this building here, White Springs Resort. You go down to the basement, there's an entire shopping mall filled with all kinds of goodies you can buy. So if you need a place to spend money, at least early, well, even mid to late game, you're going to be dumping there. It won't really be till very, very late game that you buy literally every recipe they have there, which you can do. Transmitter parts. Oh, that was for something else. I was like, what the hell was that? I think that was part of a quest just to give you the junk you needed. Okay. Alright, so what are we doing? Do we just break these down, or do we sell them? I think we sell them for now. I think we need the money. We can buy other guff that we need. Since we can't really make anything yet, since we don't have ammo crafting. Well, I think you can make ammo. You're not going to make a lot, and we have, like, no junk. So, oh, crafting benches. Right. Oh my god, I'm blanking out already where everything is. That crafting dirt. Alright. I don't remember getting this. But okay. Let's go with the chuck wagon cooking station. Jesus Christ, this thing is used. Yeah, see, ordinarily, when I find somebody squatting in my spot, I get annoyed when they do exactly what I'm doing. If somebody's going to take my spot in a map, at least have a cool base I can look at and take pictures of. But if you're just going to throw your crap on the ground like this, then come on. Go do that somewhere else. But I think an exception can be made for me, hopefully, because I'm low. My own weird rules of etiquette for base ownership. No, okay. Stop marking stuff. That might be a way to shut that off, but I personally don't know. Welch, Hudson. Alright. These just usually lead to more side quests, so if you're running out of things to do, look there. Or just go exploring. There are some quests in the game that you can only find by just, like, going to a place and doing it. Like, the theme park. There. Because I didn't go there for a long time, then I realized there was an entire daily set of daily quests you can do there. So, Don't be like me. Explore land a little bit. Or watch some videos, I guess. Either or. Excuse me. I believe I'm still getting over being sick. A bit. So, a bit raspy. Journal on Welch and doctor's research. Right. Wait, am I crazy? Oh, okay. It is a location. It says study it, but it really means go to a place. You can also rename your base, and you can also you can set whether or not it's public. So if whether or not people can actually see where your base is on the map. I'm gonna leave mine on though, just because if somebody joins my party, they can then fast travel to it, if nothing else. Also, another good reason to join a party, not only does it give you extra XP, if you're in a party, people can share perks with you, and they give you those perks while you're in the party with them. So, that's what why those people have numbers. Well, they have the level on the left, but that's why they have like that 2 and the 1 next to their name. They're currently sharing perks. And that's based on how much charisma you have. You need 3 charisma per 1 perk card value. So if you only have 3 charisma, you can only share 1 perk point valued card. So you can share like a 3-point card. The only way you can share a 3-point card is by having max charisma. Or 15 charisma. So. Like I said, there's all kinds of builds you can do, so... Oof, I don't know any of the things. Yes, these boots are made for walking. We'll get some fast travel points as we go. Is there a vendor on the way? Yes, the Charleston vendors. We'll get there. Alright. Cool! And we'll find more guns. Everything scales with level, so... You know, the higher level you get, the higher level ad you fight, the better weapons they usually have. Shot you in the balls. Mole rats. That's what that noise is. And they're one of the most glitchiest enemies in the game. Because sometimes they just they do that burrowing thing, but sometimes they just get stuck on the floor. And if you're ever having a public event or like a workshop you're trying to claim and you have a goddamn mole rat stuck on the floor that you can't kill, so you can't complete the event, then, well, then you too can know my frustration. I am going the wrong way. I need to go up this way. Oh, I pulled that out. I think you actually do run faster without your weapons out. Or that could all just be in my head. Never actually tested it. It's not bad for an old looking game, or especially Fallout 4. It's basically Fallout 4. So, what you're talking? 7-year-old game, 8-year-old game at this point. know what I mean? This bugger really followed me for like the last mile and a half. Probably did. I need to find a two-handed weapon. Find a sledge. Shoot him right in his dumb farmer hat. Not saying farmers are dumb, I'm just saying his hat's dumb.
Rich source of plant nutrients found.
Right in the thruster. Phones, good for copper. That was weird. The hell? Huh. I don't know what that is. I think that's part of a quest chain later. Tell you what, leave it be for now. We'll go see the giant tea kettle since I think that's on the way. Oh wait, no. This place is on the way. Oh, aim better. Oh, almost out of bullets. So yeah, that's what you do early game. Run out of bullets, switch to a gun that has bullets. Man, the freedom to just switch to whatever gun I want. So liberating. So used to just using whatever the meta is. Plasma casters and flamers and Tesla rifles. Gauss shotguns. You want to really annoy people? Go an explosive build and just walk around with mini nukes all day. Just launching them, crashing people's computers. If you want to do a little bit of trolling. But it is glorious to watch, you know, 7 or 8 people with MIRVs just launching a ton of nukes everywhere. And if you can handle it, it's beautiful. 4th of July. Alright, what was I doing? Alright, we just wanted to grab this fast travel point. That's why we came up here. And we got talking about nuke launchers. Which, as cool as they sound, ultimately are not very good. The ammo's too expensive. They take too long to reload. The damage is not great for what you're really getting for it. I mean, it'd be cool if it actually instantly killed everything it touched, but I understand why that'd be a bit broken. But yeah, then you get certain weapons that can do what it purports to do, but even better. Like Gourmand, Aristocrat, armor, anti-armor, friggin' auto grenade launchers. Something like that, and it just makes those guns seem trivial. Alright, let's unload some of our weapons.
Now trading for supplies and
Not in the literal,
munitions
not in the literal
and
sense.
gear.
Just keep an eye on it because these weapons are different levels. So I can get like a level 10 shotgun. Weapons cap out at level 50. Once you hit that point, doesn't matter. You're just looking for legendary stats at that point.
requisitions now available.
See what we got. Concentrated fire's good. That's a good one.
If you have supplies to trade, I can be of service.
So right now I actually want to put a point in something else.
Other supplies available here.
What though? Agility? Yes, just because I will need
Now trading
Action
for
Boy.
supplies and munition.
Hey, well, why don't we do that now then? I don't really have a particular order I'm taking these in. I have a final plan for what this build is. It's just what order you take stuff in. It's kind of up to you.
Free supply here, citizen.
As I said, if I wanted to change, oh, you have to be at least 25 to change specs. So there you go. The more you know. So. As I said, I wouldn't worry about it. I feel like these first few levels are going by pretty quickly, and there's ways you can get more XP. And like cranberry relish, lunch boxes, intelligence bobbleheads, those magazines. There's stuff you can do. I mean, I've seen people stack, 60 plus intelligence with like 7 different items boosting their XP and getting like 1500 XP from a super mutant kill, which is a lot. It means if you do it right, and if you do it on a double XP weekend, you can be leveling up like every 2 minutes. It's ridiculous. And that's why you see some people who are like level 1000, because that's exactly what they did. Although I imagine some may have cheated. There were some exploits early on in the game that you could get infinite levels. They have since patched them, so don't bother trying them today and looking them up. But there were ways, and as far as I'm aware, those people were never really banned. Should we be trying to sneak around here? He says as he immediately alerts everyone. Also recommend playing this game with headphones. I find more often than not, and especially in other shooters, I actually use sound a lot in this game. Because when these places are laid out like a friggin' labyrinth, you can kind of hear which way they're coming from. And sometimes it helps you find where you're going, so, Because, heck, even after hundreds of hours of playing this game, I still get lost. Even in areas that I'm in daily. My goodness. But I think it's intentionally designed to be that way. Especially the pit DLC. It's not even DLC. The pit content is very labyrinthian. Dang, this shotgun rocks. Like, none of this crap's even modded. You can mod the heck out of guns in this game. You got all kinds of wacky stuff and just... No mods, just shoot them dead. It's like, yeah, you could play the meta builds and kill stuff 0.5 seconds quicker, but just play what you like. This game's so much more fun when you start doing that. Is you'll end up finding that, you know, if you're just playing the meta, you're going to end up using like 2 or 3 guns ever. Because those will be the best. And obviously, you know, there'd be no point in using anything else, but you're missing out. There's a lot of different, and in particular, this game plays a lot with, not just the specs and like, oh, you can pick different perks and swap things. Your legendary abilities on your weapons. You're going to have entire builds that are based off the items you have. So, for example, the most popular one, I believe, is probably the bloodied builds. As you can see, there's some people in my party that currently have like no health. They do that intentionally because there's a perk you can get. You do more damage and have more damage resistance when your health is very low. And then there's a mutation you can get that basically does the same thing again, and it stacks. So you become a big glass cannon. And you can get armor that's called bloodied armor that gives you +3 stats when your health is low. And because your health is always low, you always have those +3 stats. You get 5 armor pieces that have that. You now have +15 in every stat. So it's pretty powerful. And I've actually never run a bloodied build. I have the perk cards for it, but I've never actually done it. Because I like having health and not dying instantly to something and getting caught in a bad daily ops. Because they are the aforementioned glass cannons. Don't know how I accidentally opened that, but glad I was close to it. Oh. Bullets. Yeah, ammo carry has weight in this game, so I don't know if in Fallout 4, somebody can tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe in normal mode ammo had weight. It was only in the survival mode, so yeah, that's sort of the default here. Oh, I don't think I get in this way. On ammo. Hey, sneak attack, double damage. Ooh, hunting rifle. I don't think I got one of those yet. One of the better guns early game, because you can upgrade it and do a lot of different stuff with a hunting rifle. And ammo, it's one of the more plentiful ammos you can find. Oh yeah, you have to eat and drink in this game as well, so. But that's part of its charm. I like that stuff. We come here for survival and realism to some degree. Ooh. Upgraded shotgun. So we're going to unfavorite this one, and we're going to favorite this one. Nice. Alright, oh, we're needing the computer. And we're gonna do looks empiricals. Okay. Yeah. I won't spoiler it, but if you stick around, what you actually do to inoculate people is kind of funny. How do you get that far in the quest? Oh. Those heads and stuff. Are those before the war or after the war? Because they had to have been after the war, because half these things didn't exist before the war. Brahmin, death, well, maybe in limited capacities, but I think death claws existed before the war, but they were only in labs. Yeah. Bit of a Fallout nerd on the lore, if you haven't been able to tell. Big fan of the game and the series. I haven't played any of the originals. Ooh, maybe I should do that on stream. Would people like that? People want to watch me play the original games? I've never played them. I am planning on doing like a retro day where I go back and play games from like my childhood and older games that I never played that, you know, my parents didn't let me buy when I was younger. We just couldn't afford. So, you know, something off good old games. So, yeah, if that's something people would be interested in, let me know. I'm certainly going to try it in my try everything phase at the moment. All right. Let's try this shotgun. Yeah. If you couldn't tell, these are Chinese robots. Yeah, so before the war, here's some lore. If you're not initiated, China and the U.S. were in they were in a war. The U.S. was actively invading China during the war at the time the bombs fell. But I guess they decided to send these propaganda robots, and they also had like hidden Chinese listening posts all over America, and there's one in this game. And there's involved in the quest, and you can actually find out more about the Chinese and stuff. So again, I don't want to, not too much spoilerish stuff. If you want to stick around and watch me play through that, and if I get that far on this character, because that's pretty late into this. I don't know. And I'm not going to get to it anytime soon. So if we get there, we get there. I'd be curious to know, compared to Fallout 4 now, how much content this game has to 4. It's hard to say. I feel like they're about the same now. Definitely wasn't that way at start, especially with no NPCs in this game at the start. It felt okay because the plot implies that everyone is dead and you're the last survivors in this area. But yeah, that's why they have a developing storyline and NPCs. They came back, so. I don't know if in the revised plot that they did after the Wastelanders update, if they super addressed where everyone was. I think they just left Appalachia, I think was their excuse, that it's like, nobody could live here. It was terrible. You fixed it. Good for you. And now it's livable again. That's kind of where we're at now. Oh, wait. Why did I come in here? This was part of a miscellaneous quest. God. it keeps flagging these side quests, and I keep thinking it's the quest that I'm currently on, but it's not. Why did that not fast travel? I don't know what that was. That was weird. I think it was because I was taking radiation damage, actually. You can't fast travel while taking damage. Although I didn't think that applied to radiation, because if you're in a blast zone in this game, you can fast travel out of it, because you super die if you stay in those. Without protection, that is. Yeah, that's another thing you can do in this game is launch nukes. And then you can hang out in the blast zone and farm stuff. Killing the monsters and getting their blood. Also, another pro tip. Don't use medicine after quickly transitioning areas, because sometimes it does that and just glitches out and doesn't work. Everything should still be dead. Or everything I killed should still be dead. There might be some stuff I missed. Yep. Probably be picking up this stuff. Again, I'm in my, I gotta get out of that mindset of I can start picking up things again. I need to. I mean, you need to pick up everything, especially early on, because you're not going to have anything, and you're going to end up using almost everything. I mean, not all this stuff. My advice for junk is only farm it when you need it. You eventually will get to the point where you'll just kind of know what you need, and you'll just pick it up as you're walking around. And then eventually you might reach the point where you just only will need very specific things, and you'll farm it, you'll get like 100 of it, or hundreds of it, and that'll be it. That's all you have to do. You'll be good for a while. But the big ones are like lead and acid. As I said, you'll make ammo, and you'll need lead and acid, because it uses it for every recipe. So. All right, actually, this, actually, I want to go do Campfire Tales. I want to go do that public event. This is actually one of my favorite public events. One, it's cool, and two, one of the most annoying things to get in this game is Possum Scout badges, just because there's like a laundry list of things you need to do to earn even one. But this event has a chance to give you one for free. Why do you need Possum Scout badges? Because you can buy Possum Scout gear with it. And that's the only way you can get Possum Scout gear. So if you want to look like a Boy Scout, you can. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to wait for some other people to get here. Oh boy. Hopefully other people join this event. I'm going to take another break, and I think we'll go for about another hour after that. So I'll be back in a minute.
What's up, Jim? Hello.
Oh my goodness, I had my mic muted. I am such a dolt. I stepped down again. Alright, so I'm back from break. I'm streaming, just so you're aware. Sup, Rish? How was D&D? I think I said that already.
It was slippery, it was wet, you know, all the good things.
Cool.
I just went and picked up the boy, and now I'm home. What were you streaming?
I'm still streaming.
What are you streaming? Rather?
Fallout 76. Trying to teach people, if they have any questions, they can ask me in the chat. And I'm playing a new character to get some of the achievements that I didn't get when they retroactively rolled over to the Steam client from the Bethesda launcher.
Fallout 76. Didn't that have a rough start?
It did. It did indeed. It had a lot of bugs, but what Bethesda game doesn't have a lot of bugs at the start? But over the last 4 years, they've made many improvements. They've added NPCs, added new quests, new content, fixed many of the bugs, added just tons and tons of stuff.
So it's similar to the other Fallout games, like Fallout 4, where you can build bases.
It's based on the exact
quests.
Ooh.
You get fat loots.
Magazine. Nice. I don't even think I have this one on my other character. That's awesome. Yeah, it's the Fallout 4 engine. It's Fallout 4. If you played Fallout 4, it's the same engine, the same base building mechanics. I mean, they've just changed it to be a bit MMO.
So it is an MMO.
Yes.
What is there the huge power curve of people who play consistently being ridiculously more powerful than those of us who are, let's say, casual dads?
No, this game is far more forgiving to casual players.
Really?
You do not need to spend hundreds of hours in this game to get good at it. Every spec in the game is viable, and like I said, if you spend the time in it and you farm the right gear and you have the right spec, like, it's not hard to have a very overpowered spec in this game.
How is the talent system related to MMOs? Is it a spider-webbed talent system, meaning it is a tree?
It is perk.
Point-based?
It is a perk card system. It is, you have a number of stat points, and you can buy perk cards equal to the stat points you have for your block. So if you have 9 strength, you can have 9 points worth of strength cards. So
but it has to be strength cards.
Yeah, but you can have, well, you have 7 stat blocks, and you can have 50 points in however you want distributed amongst those, and then you can buy, well, and then you can get more with legendary perks, but at the base max level you can have 50 distributed, and you can have as many perks in there as you have points. So if you have 7 intelligence, you can have 7 intelligent perk points, so you can have like 5 in gunsmith and 2 in contractor.
Okay, I like that.
And you can change, if you have the perk card for it, you can change to that perk card at any time, regardless of where you are, so you don't need to be like a spec station, so you can change a lot of your specs quickly. So like, the thing to do, the crafting things, like gunsmith and armor smith, you'll want those perk cards, but you're not going to have them equipped when you're out and about gallivanting, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But you still need, like, say, Gunsmith 5. You would still need a minimum of 5 intelligence to have Gunsmith 5. It's that kind of system. But there's lots of different ways to specs. And what I was just telling the chat a moment ago, the best part about this game is not only is your perks that you take part of your thing, gear is very much a thing. And you can base entire specs based on just gear alone.
Well, what kind of methods what can I do in the game that would get me said gear other than, I'm assuming, quests, right? Is there a crafting system?
Yeah, you can craft it, you can do quests, do whatever you want.
Can my friends give me all the fat loot so that I don't have to play the game, but instead
technically yes,
get fed by my powerful friends?
Yeah, but I mean, you still have to get the levels, because you wouldn't be able to use half the crap I'd give you.
Ah, so the items have prerequisites.
Yes, there is a minimum level requirement for most weapons, which is 50, which is nothing. 50 is pretty low. To give you
How
some,
long? How fast would it take me to get to 50? Day, 3 days, 2 days?
it depends. Again, are you following my guides and my instructions, or are you just playing the game to have fun? Because you could probably do it in a single day if you knew what you were doing.
I try again to warn them of the darkest danger.
That's impressive.
No one listens. So I go into the forest alone, searching the Bible.
But yeah, like I said, gear is as much a thing as your perk points are. So
I always enjoyed the Fallout aspect of building.
Yeah,
a large
and you can have
frontier base,
and you can have multiple preset builds. So, I mean, realistically, you only ever need one character. You don't need to do alts. I'm just doing one for fun because I've done almost everything on my other character. But you can have, a character that has, a shotgun build and a heavy guns build and a rifleman build, and you could just swap to them at any time. And then you take, I have this armor set because this is aristocrats, or I have this armor set because I run a bloodied build, that kind of thing. So you'd have different gear sets for what you use, and you get to, it doesn't matter, you just pick what you like.
I like that.
It all works. Obviously, like I said, some specs are better than others. Big guns is the current meta.
Big guns.
Yeah. Wearing power armor and using any of the two-handed big guns.
Gotcha.
Commando's pretty good too. That is your single-shot rifle build. You can get Tesla rifles, and Tesla rifles are pretty dope. They do like chain lightning when they shoot things.
That's neat. Great for ad control.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm going to be streaming here for a little bit more, maybe another 30, 40 minutes, I'm not sure. Somewhere around there.
Gotcha.
My throat is starting to kill, but...
Oh, dude, trust me, mine is screaming after playing so many different NPCs tonight in D&D and doing voices like a weirdo.
I'm on and off the phone all day, on meetings all day, and then I come on stream for 4 hours, so it's just like, so much talking. I'm not used to talking that much.
Complete my collection. Only 9 more Hominoptera to go. Layla told me to watch out for their stingers, but I can handle them. That's what my new entomologist badge is for. I'm hunting bugs of all kinds. They come out at night, but they're cool at all times.
Now we have to fight hordes of insects. Yeah, so in this public event, follow the instructions of the scout leader there, who has an adorable Minnesota accent. And then the final event, she tells different stories. And depending on the story you're doing, it gets which of the final events you get. The task she gives you is always the same, but the final event's different. We got the bug event. There's one where an alien shows up. There's a Wendigo. I think there's another one I'm forgetting about, but you get the idea. It's supposed to be 80s horror kind of schlock, which I'm totally into. Yeah, see that? That's the auto axe. That's the build we're going for. That guy's using. Where'd that come up? Oh, here. Completed event. S'mores recipe. Great. That was a good distraction.
Bring any marshmallows?
Now you know what a public event looks like. And there's a lot of different ones of those. If you want a lot of XP, Radiation Rumble, Uranium Fever, Eviction Notice, Moonshine Jamboree, those 4, all pretty good XP farms because lots of monsters spawn and they're usually really fun. Usually, if a lot of people show up, you get a lot of crazy weapons and people running around doing everything. That's my favorite part. Then there's my not favorite part where when somebody shows up with certain weapons and just completely own the spawn point and hog all the kills for themselves. So be forewarned, that has happened. Truth be told, I have not seen that a lot lately. That used to be a lot more prevalent a year or so ago, but I still see it, but very rarely these days. Hopefully those weapons are finally getting out of circulation, or the people who use them stop playing. Either way. Because they're weapons that no longer drop in the game, just so you're aware. Nobody can get them anymore, but I call them legacy weapons because they let the people who have them keep them, but they are utterly broken. And there's a couple different ones. Namely, the explosive plasma Gatling. That one is the worst. And if you have one, I mean, I don't care if people use them. Yeah, I genuinely don't. I only get annoyed when they come to public events and then hose down the spawn point and just not let anybody play the game or do anything else. But yeah, if you have one and you want to use it when you're out and about on your own, I don't care. Have at it. Yeah, that's my rant about legacy weapons. It's kind of a hot topic in the community. And I can go into it, but I don't want to make anybody mad. I'm here to make the people who love this game as much as I have come here and we can all celebrate this game. And I don't want them coming here and being like, you're talking bad about my legendaries. It's just like, oh, man, I don't care. Keep them. Go nuts. Oh. Supposed to get blood from a feral ghoul? Are they supposed to drop it? Oh. You have to hit a special button. It's just like the freaking Scorch Queen of daily. Should have known. Yeah, it doesn't always tell you everything you're supposed to do. You just gotta use that old video.
Oh, man,
you gotta use that gamer brain.
So fast. Ugh.
I have a whole week coming off, and I plan on streaming.
Ugh.
So catch me next week. Put down in the comments now what you want me to play.
We should definitely hit up some Destiny. We haven't played that in a while. And you know what?
Some Destiny.
We could finish that goddamn zombie game.
Dying Light.
Yeah, we could finish that. I know we were co-oping that for a while. We got a couple hours in.
My preferred content is streaming with my friends.
It is more entertaining.
I'm sure people love me playing Fallout 76, but I think they would love to see Played Up more.
Oh, Played Up was neat. That was fun.
And I have to stream Played Up again. I actually have to stream it again if I want my videos to even show up in a search. So
Really?
Yeah, so this is something I learned from r/NewTubers, which is a subreddit devoted for people just like me. Apparently there's some like analytical drive that like you have to have a certain level of engagement with YouTube on a particular topic before it considers you an authority on it and lets you show up in searches. So long and short of that means is you have to do 2 videos on a particular topic before any of them show up in a search.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So the only way you can find that Played Up video right now is if you are subscribed to my channel, go to the channel, and then look at my video listings and see it in there. But if you
have
search
more-
my channel name and PlateUp, it would not show up. I was crushed to find that out.
You have more than I looked on your channel. You have more than one played up stream.
I have.
You have like 4.
Privated them. I only have one that's public.
Oh, gotcha. Understood.
Because the quality on those other recordings were very bad, so I did not leave those up. I know I don't edit my videos for now, but I don't want to leave just pure garbage on there.
Understood. Yeah, I get it.
I want to have at least some quality control. People do streams on their tube, so that's what I'm doing. I will try and edit some of these down and come up with some better ideas. But for now, I just want content and I want to have a community. I wanted to be a Twitch streamer first. YouTube was more just an aggregate. I want to have an audience that I can interact with on my chats.
Right. Oh, do you have any viewers today?
Some.
Nice. Any new follows today?
No.
Oh, sad.
They could at any time hit that follow button, but I don't want to be that guy too much. I gotta be that guy a little bit, but I don't want to. You know.
Have a heart, guys. Hit that follow button. Have a heart. By clicking the heart. That? See what I did there? Eh?
I set up alerts too, so I don't even know if they're working. Well, I tested them. I tested the test and I did it, but I don't know if it actually is working.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. But you can't make people love you. You just have to let it happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I enjoy doing it regardless. I wouldn't do it otherwise.
I'm sure at some point I'll get into it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was neat looking through Streamlabs and all that stuff.
I did put your name in the last thumbnail, so you do have a presence.
You're the best.
I don't know if that's the moniker you're going to go by, but that's what I have.
Wait, what is it? What'd you call me?
Rishbo Baggins?
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Isn't that what you normally use?
That's actually what my Twitch is.
Oh, well, there you go then. Stick around for that.
Excellent.
All right.
Good, very good.
Listen to the Overseer's broadcast on the radio.
Broadcasting to the people of Vault 76. This is the Overseer. We need to talk, face to face. I've missed all of you, but this isn't just about
Perfectly preserved pie.
We have work to do.
There's like a 1 or 2% chance you can actually get that pie. I have a small collection of it that I'm kind of proud of in my other character, but I've seen people with very large collections of pies. So, hey, if you're into the pie racket, you know who you are. You're good people. Fire breathers. A group of firefighters. And this is where you start seeing the mechanic where you need a gas mask. No bullets for any of the guns. Okay, didn't I pick up a hunting rifle? Switch to that. Did I get rid of it? No. Okay. Spend some perk points. So we got shotgun, traveling pharmacies, good if you're going drug build, happy campers, good if you're going AFK and you just want people to shop at your place. Oh, I got inspirational. Can I? Yes. Okay, you can scrap cards right away. Interesting. Okay. Yes. We're going to scrap that because we already have max rank of it. So we don't need the extra one. And what else? We're remiss to keep taking two-handed stuff because I haven't even found a two-handed weapon yet. So, okay, what if... Can I... Okay, here's what I'll do. I'll dump the point into strength. Then we'll go back. I guess... wait. Why am I doing this like the old way? Jeez. Just take what I want. Sorry, losing my mind. That. Oh, I know what else we're gonna want. Let's take an intelligent point and get makeshift warrior, so we can start getting the crafting. This is the crafting thing for it, so I can start making weapons. So I can just go make my own weapon. None of this having to find a weapon. It's a crafting game. Let's do some crafting.
Automation used to define.
And a gas mask for free. Nice. I will take. Alright, let's change out of the blues so I don't look like a complete noob. Alright, knowledge exam. You find tunnels you're traveling are begin filling with strange gas in here without your breathing apparatus. What do you do? Evacuate. Travel this small building. Your breathing apparatus is failed. Which of the following serves best replacement? Water-soaked rag. One of the following fellow fire breathers has burned. The area is painful to the touch. No blisters foaming. They applied cool compress. What's the next thing you should do? Yeah, clean bandages. Why would you do anything else? While exploring collapse mine, your team leader flashes their safety light quickly 3 times. What does that mean? Treat immediately. When your squad mates caught this case of sludge lung, which the following case set ingredients used to cure such a the only one that not dirty water. Okay. These are sort of obvious. You stumbled upon scorched diseased people brandishing clubs. Which of the following is the only acceptable method of engaging them? Engage with firearms. Recognize scorch infected man. You recognize the child in front of what do you do? I think at this point they're still killing people, so blow them away. Yes, I passed. Great. Success. Alright. Ooh, you know what this is? lead. You know what this also is? A long walk back to the train station. That kills. I can't take it. Not right now. Well, that's one of the advantages if you have first. So if you play on public servers, people can come here and loot stuff, and it will respawn eventually. But if you have a private server, you can go, and everywhere is freshly unlooted, and you can get whatever you want. So if you have a spot that you know, I know lead weights spawn here, you can go and get your lead weights. Yeah. Ugh. Make inventory room already. Alright, well I got here, so let's go to my base. Just dump a bunch of crap. Just make a lot of room. I'll sort through it later. We're running out of time for tonight, so I might do some of that off camera later. But for now, we just want to keep getting as much as we can get done right now. And occasionally those things show up. You can build defenses for your base, so other base has them spawning right inside my building, so I had to put a turret inside. Again, I will sort through this later. Nobody wants to sit here and watch me play inventory management. But unfortunately, that is part of this game. So, sit tight. Now let's make a weapon. I don't even know what I'll have. Still can't make any two-handers, and we're still... what, level 10? Yeah, so still 10 levels away from using our auto axe. We'll get there. We'll get there. Alright. Just fast travel there. Like I said, I'm just mostly trying to get through the main storyline because I think that's how you unlock most of the crap that you'll need. And get your ultra sight armor from completing the storyline. And not that I think I'm going to be using it, but again, if you're going a power armor build, if you want to be the easiest thing in the world, go power armor build and beat the main storyline. Get yourself an ultra sight armor. It's basically free at that point, and you'll have that, and you'll have something very decent to be using, and then you'll build your actual end game set. where you'll eventually be able to do literally anything in the game, including soloing the final bosses. Well, this game doesn't have a final boss as such, but the two toughest things in the game, the Scorched Beast Queen, and Earl, aka the Wendigo Colossus.
Examination will begin in.
Oh crap! This is timed. Oh, I forgot about this one. Oh, I should have killed everything first. Oh, I have to hit the button.
Exam initiated.
Nope.
Activate initial checkpoint.
Nope. Okay. Okay.
Checkpoint activated.
Yeah, update the waypoints a little quicker if you would. Bats. I'm going the wrong way, aren't I? No, this is the right way. There's the arrows. Okay. Yeah. It's all coming back to me now. Yeah. Gotta do this little obstacle course. Jeez, even with Action Boy 3, that still feels lethargic. That, and I think we have to go back.
Activated. Return to start.
Yep. See, they have these little arrows up here to help you a bit. And to get you some fast travel. So, I mean, the game, like, if you play the storyline, it'll take you all around the map, get you the major fast travel points. Like, that's why I just say do that first. And then, if you find a side quest that interests you, go off and do that. That would be my advice of how to do this. And then, you know, just explore. If you just find something interesting, there might be a quest rammed in there. They said there are a couple places like that. Camden Park and I'm trying to remember any else. Some stuff over. Oh, Cranberry Bog. I think all of Watauga. All that stuff over there. You have to go and there's no like quest area givers. You just have to actually explore. Oh, shoot, I remember this. We can. There's an elevator over here. Not an elevator. Yes, the manual elevator. Some call it stairs.
Congratulations. Please access terminal to initiate final examination briefing.
Oh my god, why am I so bad? Alright.
Greetings, applicant. This is Melody Larkin, Firebreather's captain. Congratulations on your progress thus far. Until recently, we'd now be moving you on to our final exam. A nice, easy run through an active mine burn. But these days, we got bigger fish to fry.
I'm not following the wrong thing.
The scorched creatures have been pouring through Big Bend Tunnel. Someone has to stop them. And the Firebreathers are the only ones with the tools and the know-how to get it done. So, for your final exam, you'll be running a course cooked up by our very own Lieutenant Madigan. Get you up to speed on dealing with these scorched. Head on over to the Belch and Betty shaft when you're ready. Our handler bot Bernie.
Alright, let's go do that. That seems like a good final mission for the night. An active burning mine. Seems like an exciting finale to end the night on. Yep, just like Skyrim. Just parkour up the hill. Although there's no magical horse physics here. And that is the Rusty Pig. That is where you go to exchange your script for legendary gear and equipment. Although anybody who's in the know knows you just buy legendary modules and make your own equipment. Use legendary modules to basically re-roll 3 or 2-star or 1-star legendaries to try and get different abilities. So that's how you make and craft legendaries of your choice. Oh, hello, T-51. I'll take. Oh. But I cannot equip the armor because I'm not level 30, but what I can do is take all the crap.
Fire breather. Applicant detected. Kit ticket issued. Please collect your gear. Please present your uniform ticket to the appropriate dispenser. Examination briefing. Holotape issued.
Yeah, and it wants us to wear the... Does the helmet have the gas mask on it? It does, okay.
Use of deadly force is authorized against infected personnel.
Welcome, recruit, to your final exam. I'm Hank Madigan, fire breather lieutenant. Exam simple. Reach the bottom of the mine, hit the emergency beacon down there, and come back up.
Guy sounds like me reading off my minutes.
All you gotta do is survive a little slice of living hell. All the scorch, call it home. And I get this is extreme. But we need to know if you can hack it before you got half a dozen other people counting on you. But you're not going in empty-handed. Along with your suit, you've been issued a modified 10mm. We figured out the Scorched aren't big fans of depleted ultrasight. Took a field trip to AMF HQ to figure out how to make the stuff, but it's the most effective tool we found for putting them down. So time to prove you can put it to good use. Suit up, strap in, and move out, recruit.
Yeah, so if I did not have a gas mask on here, my character would probably contract sludge lung, which is a disease which would make my action points really slow to regen, which I do not want. Because then I can do crap like that. I may end up doing some junk farming off stream just because I don't think anybody's going to be too interested in watching a lot of that, but without me really explaining what I'm doing, and it'd just be me hard farming and not talking too much. So continuity, in case I do, in case you see it happen, then you know what happened.
Shut up, Sai. She's recording. Entry chief. We've lost Ricky Wolf, Nancy Rhodes, former Scorched. And the rest of us barely made it past the alive. I'm beginning to think Melody Barton may have underestimated the difficulty of this thing.
You're damn right she did. This is suicide. Well, the hell with this. I'm going back.
No, you're not. You're sticking with us.
Why? So we can get picked off one by one until we're all dead? No way, not me.
You know what, Sai? You've been acting like a coward ever since we started tackling the Scorch at the farms. And now, Tim and Andrew are dead because of you.
What the hell are you talking about?
I saw him, Max. When those Scorched pushed through the tunnels, they came at us from all sides. Tim and Andrew were holding, and they told Sai to watch the back, but he didn't. He ran away and left their rear flank wide open. That's
Oh, I should
what
probably
took
have
them
that
down.
shotgunner on.
Bullshit! She's lying, Max.
Oh, both of you knock it off. Sylvester, if you want to go, go, but you're going back alone, and I guarantee we didn't clear everything behind. Even if you make it, mark my words, you'll never be part of this squad again.
Spoiler alert, none of them make it.
Fine. To hell with both of you.
off without him.
I don't think any of them make it out anyways, if I recall. While you send firefighters into a mine filled with deadly monsters, I guess that was their point. They were supposed to be like rescuers and first responders, I think. Maybe that was the point. It's supposed to be like combat firemen, because everything in this game is violent. But hey, it's the world they live in. It's the world we live in. We live in a violent world. I just wish it was a little more goofy like this one is.
Applicant task.
Yep. See, there she is.
Return to surface for examination completion.
Yeah. There's their final entry.
Lester left the team some time ago. Mine, minutes after he left. Rita and I are on the phone. Despite the odds, we've somehow made it to the weekend. What's supposed to happen when we actually have the weekend? I don't know. I suppose we'll get Melody Larkin's next instructions about how to get out of here. Well, there's no reason for us to stand here and push the damn thing. Oh my god. They're everywhere. I don't know if we're gonna make it, but we didn't come this far just to give up.
That's right.
I'm with you, Max.
Oh,
We don't make it out of here.
we're done.
I just want you to know. It's been a real honor, Rita.
Tough break.
Likewise. Now let's go show those Scorched what it means to be a fire breather.
All examinations complete. Congratulations. Issue it. Orientation followed date. Please proceed to Charleston Fire Department for company registration.
Let's go do that. I mean, you would think the robot would be able to do it, considering he's a robot. But, you know, it's fine. I'll walk over there, put it in. I never understood if the fire breathers were like a subdivision of the responders or if they were like their own thing. I don't know. And then when they do eventually, spoiler, bring the responders back in one of the updates, but they didn't bring the fire breathers back with them. So I don't know. I feel like I guess they were their own thing and now they're not, or were it? I'm not sure. It just seemed like they had this quest chain, and that's about as far as they ever got with that idea. Alright, he's out. He's upstairs. Am I dumb? How do I get upstairs? saw something. Oh, alright. Register. New. What is it? Schematic does it give me? Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. It was... Yes, okay. We can... Okay. Big Bun Tunnel. And we listen to... What? Priority message. Where's that? Above me? Below me? What is happening? Oh, it's over here.
There are 800,000 outstanding support calls.
Dang, man, you gotta get somebody to work on that ticket queue.
Accessing.
Maria, Melody, whoever's down there, it's Madigan checking in. At long last. I'm up here just outside the top of the world, and I found something I think could be game-changing. Don't ask me where I got it. I just need you to send backup up here quick. The best guns you can spare. Call me back at this frequency as soon as you can. Madigan out.
Fire breather in the
And another achievement.
You're
Alright, I think that's a great spot to stop for the night. I think we got a lot of progress. Hopefully we all learned something today, and we will probably pick this up again tomorrow or the day after. At some point, when we're going to come back to this. But we'll get something set in stone. I stream in the evenings, usually around 7, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I have YouTube. You can catch me out there. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Make sure to follow. If you're watching this later on YouTube, hit the sub button. I greatly appreciate it. I'm a tiny little channel, and I'd like to keep doing this. So show me some support, and we'll see what we can do for you. All right. Have a good one. Catch you later. Bye-bye.